Before I drove the X6M, I said it was too big, it was too clumsy, it didn't make sense. It wasn't a proper M car. And then I drove it, and it changed everything. As a matter of fact, I made it my #1 pick for 2010. It's time to eat some crow on FLDetours. As you guys might have seen with the mini review, we're getting a little more conscious on ride quality. And being that this is an M car, they're not particularly that good over rough surfaces. But we've got the speed bump test here, and not that bad. And that's why making an SUV that has 500 horsepower makes so much sense, because you can actually drive it and enjoy it without hating your life. One of the best parts about any sports car is the sound, and this thing has the best. It sounds like a Ferrari 355. Listen to this thing go. Going way too fast on the street, but that doesn't matter, because the point is this thing sounds unbelievable inside the car, outside of the car. It's exactly what you want. It sounds like a 355 a little bit, and there's a little bit of transmission whine at low RPM. It's just, how can you not want to hear this every single day? The new M twin-power turbo is indeed the first engine in the world to feature a common exhaust manifold for both rows of cylinders, as well as twin-scroll, twin-turbo technology. What the f*** does that even mean? Powering the X6M is a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 producing 555 horsepower and just a hair over 500 pounds-feet of torque. More than enough to get you wherever you need to go. It's totally unnecessary, and that's exactly why I love it. Mated to this lovely motor is a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it will have you fooled because it shifts just as fast as a dual clutch would, and it sounds like a dual clutch, but it's not. BMW did some seriously geeky stuff to this transmission. I mean, JF could probably explain it to you because he's an engineer, but I have no clue how to explain it to you. The tach doesn't seem to be keeping up with the sound of the motor. The transmission is just so lively and it's so snap fast. It reminds me a lot like the Lexus LFA that I drove recently, because the transmission is so lively and so sharp, they had to actually install an LED tach. Here's a fun fact for you kiddies. When I was having dinner with the then president of BMW in Ludwig Village, he mentioned that the X6M would be something we had never seen before. And you know, I didn't quite believe him, but then he kind of spewed out a little fun fact, and here it is. The X6M is just as quick around a track as an E46 M3. If that's not enough proof in the pudding for you, I don't know what will be. The coolest part about this car is the fact that it's so comfortable. This would be a perfect car for a cross-country burn. You know, I mean, we had JF, who's 6'2", set up his seat so he can fit comfortably in the front, and then he walked around the back of the car, and he fits comfortably in the back as well. So it's not just a car for the driver and its passenger, it's a car for 4 people, 4 legitimately sized human beings. It's not a 2+2, it's not a 2 plus none, it is a legitimate 4-person people carrier. I love the fact that I can display the torque and see exactly where it's being distributed to each wheel on the vehicle. And I also love the fact it has a heads-up display unit that doesn't look like a Corvette, which looks like garbage. It's very clean, very sophisticated. I've got my gear, I got my speed, and it's very clearly defined where my RPMs are. Now for some of you, getting up to 60 might be the most important part about a car, but for me, it's more so getting back down to 0. And the X6M, as you would expect, does it very well. Up front, it's got 15.5-inch rotors being clamped by 4 piston calipers, and that's a lot of power. What BMW has managed to do is to tune the car effectively so that it's not too sensitive, and it manages to be easily modulated, so you're not going through the windshield as you do in some supercars. When all's said and done, you really can't get better than this. I know it costs about $95,000, but when you're paying this much, you expect something this good, and this car is that good. Like I said, sounds like a Ferrari, has the utility of an SUV, and is comfortable for a cross-country drive. It doesn't get better than this. That's FLDetours. I'm Richard P. That's JF Musial, and this is the sound of God.
Mm-hmm.